गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Jnaneshwari Bhavartha Deepika, which is the words of Jnaneshwar Maharaj on Bhagavad Gita, and we are in the 16th chapter, 4th verse. And we saw the verse Dambho Darpo Bhimanascha Krodha Parushyameva Ajnanam Jabhijatasya Partha Sampadamasurim. So these were the 6 Asuri attributes which one must avoid, and they are impediments for the seeker. And this was the question, Arjuna's question. So first he told all the divine attributes, and now in 6, in short, in one verse, he said the 6 negative, or the materialistic, or those which are not helpful, which are opposite to divine. Such attributes are given. We were up till 255th OV. Now from the 256th OV. इहिसा ही दोषी संपूर्णी झाली इयेची उभारणी म्हणवनी आसुरी उणी संपदा नव्हे परी क्रूर ग्रहाची जैसी मांदी मिळे एकैची राशी कायेती निदकापासी अशेष पापे मरणाराचे आग आंग पडिघाती अवघेची रोग का कुम्हुरुती दुर्योग एकवटती विश्वासला आतुडवीजे चोरा शिणला सुईजे महापुरा तैसे दोषी इही नरा अनिष्ट कीजे का आयुष्य जातीये वेळे शेळीये सात वेऊळी मिळे तैसे साही दोष सगळे जोडती तया. He says, so now here are the 6 faults, twice the number 3, and since the demonical endowment is founded on these 6 faults, it never lacks anything, as if there should be a conjunction of evil planets in one sign of the zodiac, or sins should pursue a slanderer, or all the ailments should attack a person when he is at the point of death, or there should be a conjunction of evil planets at an inauspicious time, or one trusting a thief should get into his clutches, or an exhausted person should fall into a great flood. So these 6 faults are disastrous in a person. These 6 faults pounce upon a person in the same way as the 7th stinged scorpion should sting a dying sheep. You will have noticed that in our mind we have to fight, we have to work hard in cultivating good qualities. Bad qualities automatically come. We don't have to cultivate them. Without too much efforts, we are able to do the wrong things and have the wrong dispositions. But when it comes to no, we have to become sattvic, we have to have integrate ourselves, we have to balance the yin and yang, we have to think of God. And when we have to think of God, all the negatives come as a obstacle. Why it doesn't happen the other way? When you want to think of the bad, why don't the divine qualities come and disturb you at that time? They don't. See, this is the nature. Understand one thing. Anyway, that point I will take later when it comes. So, one must avoid these 6 at any cost. And how do you avoid them? Tell. How would you avoid them? Will you fight against it? Will you push them away? Will you run away from it? Will you have a desire that I must not have these 6 qualities? There was a person and he said he met one Mahatma, and he said, Mahatma, I am very, I want to get the riches of the world and all my wishes must be fulfilled, and you give me one mantra. And he won't leave him, and he kept after him. Eventually the Mahatma said, here. He wrote something, closed it and gave it to him. And while he was coming down the steps of the temple, he shouted from behind that, hey, I have not completed my instructions. Listen to the last instruction, that when you open this piece of paper with the mantra, don't think of the monkey. And there itself, on the steps of the temple, this person opened the piece of paper, and from that moment on, instead of remembering the mantra, he only kept remembering the monkey. See, this is our mind. What we are told not to think of, it will think of that only. If I tell you, don't think of your wife or husband at this moment, now every now and then they will keep popping up in your mind. So how do you get away from these? Because eventually we have to go beyond the divine as well as the undivine. But the first challenge comes is the undivine. How do we go beyond it? By becoming aware. If you push against them, if you run away from them, if you want to do some forceful sadhana by which you can remove them, they will come back and make home permanently in your mind. So one must be aware. So anyway, so here he says that it's in the same way as a 7-stinged scorpion should sting a dying sheep. So all the various examples were given that how even if one of them is there, our life is topsy-turvy. What to talk about when all of them come, especially when we are at our lowest ebb in life. And what is the lowest ebb? Here it is saying when a person is dying. But other time, when our mind is not in our control, then who is troubling us in the mind? These 6 are troubling us in the mind. So make your mind a friend, not an enemy. So here in the 261st verse, Moksha marga kade जयांचा आंबुखा पडे तै न निघे म्हणवनी बुडे संसारी तो. अधमा योनीच्या पावटी उतरत जो किरीटी स्थावरा ही तळवटी बैसणे घे हे असो तयाच्या ठाई मिळवणी साही दोषी इही आसुरी संपत्ती पाही वाढविजे ऐसिया या दोनी संपदा प्रसिद्धा जनी सांगितलिया चिन्ही वेगळाल्या. So he says here that even if a dribble of these 6 faults fall upon a person who has taken to the path of liberation, he sinks in worldly affairs and descending the steps of the vile births, he reaches the bottom and takes birth into the species of the immovable such as trees and stones. In short, these 6 faults combine to enhance the demonical endowments. In this way, I have explained to you the different characteristics of these 2 endowments which are famous in the world. See? So even a dribble, even an iota, even a sprinkling of these 6 or even one of them comes in the way of a seeker of liberation on his path, it is enough to take him, hijack his mind and bring it back to the material, the samsara, and he loses the path. And after that, such a person, here it is told that the Aneshwar Maharaj is saying that, that he takes birth into the species of immovable such as trees and stones. So from trees and stones, liberation is not possible. So we have to try hard to bring out the diamond within us, and for that this black coal of these 6 qualities has to be chipped away slowly and steadily. We don't know when we are going to die. We think we are going to live for 60, 70, 80, 90 years. So the urgency must be there that I must get rid of these 6, but with a calm urgency, not a hurry-burry. Now, in the 5th verse, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya, Nibandhaya Suri Mata, Nibandhaya Suri Mata, Mashucha Sampadad Daivim, Mashucha Sampadam Daivim, Abhijatasi Pandava, Abhijatosi Pandava, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya, Nibandhaya
Alert from Malwarebytes
Surimata,
agent. Version update available.
Mashucha Sampadam Daivim, Abhijatosi Pandava. So he says, the divine endowment is known to lead to release and the demonical to bondage. Grieve not, for you are born to the divine endowment, O son of Pandu. Naturally, when listening to the 26 qualities, listening to 26 qualities of 26 qualities of the divine and the 6 qualities, naturally, as we are going through, you are also assessing yourself in your mind which one is prominent. Is it the negative, is it the demonical, or is it the Daivi? Is it the divine? So Arjuna was also assessing, and naturally in his eyes the question must be, which one am I? Am I qualified for liberation or not? Am I qualified to know? Am I qualified? Here it is not about liberation. He is saying, you know me better than I know myself. That's why I am asking you the questions, O Lord Krishna. So you please tell me, Am I the demonical predominant, or am I the divine predominant? And then the Lord says, don't worry, Arjuna. You have the divine attributes. They are predominant in you. So let's see. It's a या दोन्ही माझी पहिली दैवी जे म्हणितली ते मोक्ष सूर्ये पाहली उखाची जाण येरी जे दुसरी संपत्ती का आसुरी ते मोह लोहाची खरी साखळी जीवा परी हे ऐकोनी झणे भय घेसी हो मने काय रात्रीचा दिने धाकू धरिजे हे आसुरी संपत्ती तया बंधा लागी धनंजया जो साही दोषायया आश्रयो होय तू तव पांडवा सांगितले या दैवा गुणनिधी बरवा जन्मलासी म्हणवनी पार्था तू या दैवी संपत्ती स्वामिया होऊनी यावे उवाया कैवल्याचिया. He says, know that the first, namely the divine endowments, is the dawn before the sunrise in the form of liberation. When we are moving towards the liberation, whether that direction you are on that journey by way of Kriya Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Japa Yoga, devotion, Gyan, whichever way, as we are moving in the direction towards our essential nature, towards the divine, automatically, in order to merge into Him, the dawn of these divine qualities happens. They come about. Without the dawn of these qualities, we cannot go beyond. I shouldn't say we cannot go beyond. I take those words back, because we have to go beyond the divine as well as the undivine. But it is seen, it is an observation that as we are moving towards the divine qualities are predominant as compared to the undivine qualities. And therefore, he says, the other demonical endowments is verily like an iron chain in the form of infatuation binding the self. See? They are very powerful. Which ones? The undivine ones. Therefore, they are always there in the mind. And we have to work hard to get rid of them or go beyond them. In the form of infatuation, binding the self. But do not entertain any apprehension after hearing this. Does the sun ever feel afraid of the night? Does the sun feel afraid of the night? So in other words, he is telling us through Arjuna that, are you afraid of sleep? We have to take a position. If you are not able to sleep at night, immediately your position should be, hey, the sleep is mind's business. I am the one in whose presence the sleep happens or does not happen. It doesn't affect me. I am the witness. See? O winner of wealth, Dhananjaya, only he who gives shelter to these 6 faults is fettered by them. And how do you give shelter to these? Tell someone, how do you give shelter to these 6 undivine ones? Tell.
by the qualities of our thoughts, Swamiji? Like family problems comes in.
You are not thinking. Thoughts are coming by themselves in your mind. The negative thoughts are coming by themselves. You are not thinking them. That is where we are making the mistake. We are thinking, you are thinking that you are making the thoughts to come. It is not so. Thoughts are coming of their own accord. But how do we give credence? How do we give them value? Oh, sorry. What did I ask? What was the question I asked?
How do you give values to the negative qualities, or how that becomes more prominent?
How does it become more prominent?
Like we give value to the roles. Like my wife is like saying something, and we value that.
No. Yeah, to some extent, yes. You wanted to say something?
By giving value and getting attached to those thoughts or the characters.
You can never get attached to thoughts.
To those demonic characters.
But we can never get attached to thoughts. Because thoughts are continuously coming and going.
We give it
So
importance.
before giving value and importance, what is required to be done? What happens before you give value and importance? कौन पीछे टीवी चला के बैठा है यार? Put the TV off or we give. How do they bind us? When we give them attention. And how do you give attention? By way of value and importance. So both of you, that was the second step. Or it happens very quickly. But first your attention. Who gives the attention? The I. So what is the nature of I? Essentially the nature of I is the infinite. But what is it giving attention to instead of the infinite? To these, and then gets caught up. This is the infatuation, this is the attachment. We can say that way. There's no attachment possible, but because it keeps giving value, it feels it is important. Then whatever this I feels important, those thoughts keep coming again and again to satisfy the hunger of this I. Remember this. So don't blame anyone else in this world. We are persecuting ourselves by giving attention to wrong things. Nobody to be blamed. Thoughts are inert. It is this ghost. So instead what we have to do, I told you before, remain a witness. Don't fight them. Let them come, let them go, let them come, let them go. After some time it will reduce. And once it starts reducing, immediately shift your attention or begin with the, if you can't do it, you can't witness it, then take the name of the Lord. That will help. Shift the attention to something positive if you can't remain as a witness. So here he says, does the sun ever feel afraid of the night? See, if you are afraid of now we have heard these 6 negative qualities or undivine ones, 6 undivine attributes. Now don't be afraid of it, because if you are afraid, it will pursue you. Whatever you run away from, it pursues you. Have you ever, when we are learning cycle, you remember the road is so big and you are learning to cycle, and even if you are a good cyclist, you see a rock on the road and from far away you say, oh, I'm going to avoid it, I hope I don't crash into it. Such a big road, but somehow because you are giving attention to that rock, your cycle goes and hits that rock only. Instead that extra 7-10 feet of road is there, it doesn't take that. When you are driving, accidents happen because of this. Wherever your attention goes, there the car goes. You look this way, car is going this way. It doesn't go straight. See? So don't be afraid of them. Because if you are afraid, then you will keep wishing, I hope they don't come out. Then there will be fear. And seeker has to go beyond fear. He has to be abhaya. That was the first quality given in the Daivi Sampatti. Abhaya. So does the sun ever feel afraid of the night? O winner of wealth, only he who gives shelter to these six faults. And how do we give shelter? By giving our attention to it. Who gives the attention? This I, this individual, this ego, who takes the ownership that these faults are mine, that these quality attributes are mine, is fettered by them, is troubled by them. O Arjuna, you are born in such a way that you are the treasure of the divine virtues just mentioned. So he is bringing out the positive force. He is invoking. He is taking the mind of Arjuna. Because if he starts thinking of this negative, again he will be a deflated balloon, like in the first chapter. So Krishna straight away says, because Krishna knows that every person is harboring these divine qualities in plenty. They are dormant only because we are not giving attention to them. The moment we become aware, the moment we start thinking about these divine qualities, automatically they will start becoming your person. They will start expressing out of you. O Partha, you should become the lord of these divine virtues and enjoy the bliss of liberation in the course of time. See? So, sattvic attributes, only when our mind is sattvic, is having sattvic thoughts, that we can transcend the thoughts also. From the undivine thoughts, you cannot transcend undivine thoughts. But when your mind is more or majority sattvic, negative thoughts will still come. They'll still be there. But now you got enough oomph, you got enough energy, you got enough purity within you to transcend both the divine and the undivine. And in this manner, Daivi sampadim mokshaya nibandhaya suri mata ma shucha sampada daivim abhijatosi pandava. Next verse. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha Daivo vistarasha prokta asuram partha me shrunu Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha daivo vistarasha prokta asuram partha me shrunu. Here he says in the 6th verse that there are two creations. Now he is going to explain these. There are two creations of beings in this world, the divine and the demonical. Now you will see when your panchang, when your horoscope is made, if you have noticed or I don't know, you got the navagrahas, you got the moon, etc. You got the nakshatras, you got the lagna, etc., etc. I don't know their corresponding in English. But then there is one more point. It is written, is this soul belonging to Daivi Yoni? Is this soul belonging to Rakshasa Yoni? Watch. And there is nothing wrong with both. If it is Rakshas Yoni, you are Prahlad. If it is Daivi Yoni, you are a human, not a god. God cannot liberate. Then Daivi Sampati is there. So there are two creations of beings in this world, the divine and the demonical. The divine has been told at length, hear from me, O Partha, of the demonical. So after having given the 6 attributes of the undivine, now the rest of the chapter is going to go into detail about the undivine, because they persecute us, because we are infatuated by them, hypnotized by them, under their clutches, knowingly or unknowingly. It is not to be told, it is not being told so that you can collect this information and start telling your husband or wife, hey, Asuri Vritti, what do you call? Rakshasi, Asuri Sampatti is expressing out of you. This is not to judge other people. This is to assess your mind. To recognize, to information is power. If you know that these things can come to you, you will be ever alert. So that if anything is, if your mind is like today, Mom was sitting and beautiful sunshine in the afternoon. She just told me, and she decided, oh, it's so beautiful, I'll go out in the backyard and I'll go for a walk. About 10-15 rounds I'll do, and it will be beautiful sunshine. And at that moment I entered. I said, coffee? Yes. So her mind said, after coffee I'll go for a walk. Delayed it by 15 minutes. After that, another 15 minutes to drink the coffee, 10 minutes to drink the coffee. Then she got up, about to get up to go out, and she saw there was no sun. So the mind said, now tomorrow. This is what happens. This is Asuri Vritti. Laziness. We have to, when there is divine qualities, attributes, a person lives with inspiration. See? And that inspiration is, and he goes in that journey with joy, not out of my way or the highway, like Ravana, like Kamsa. They were also inspired, but in a negative way. Arjuna is a good person, that's why he had a breakdown. That goodness in him was misplaced, and it became depression. It brought about a crisis in him, in his mind, as to his duty. Goodness does not mean it has to be shown to other people. Goodness is when our mind, our thoughts are continuously being directed towards the feet of the divine. Now, what Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, let's see. Ani daiva asura sampatti vanta nara anadi siddha ujgara राहाटीचा आहे जैसे रात्रीच्या अवसरी व्यापारीजे निशाचरी दिवसा सुव्यवहारी मनुष्यादिकी तैसिया आपुलालिया राहाटी वर्तती दोन्ही सृष्टी दैवी आणि किरीटी आसुरी येथ देवीची विस्तारुनी दैवी ज्ञानकथनादी प्रस्तावी सांगील मागील ग्रंथी बरवी सांगितली आता आसुरी जे सृष्टी तेथीची उपलहू गोठी अवधानाची दिठी Depa ki niki. He says the actions of persons endowed with the divine and demonical endowments flow in different paths from time immemorial. Just as the thieves and other men transact their business during the night and the day respectively, so those who belong to the divine and the demonical orders carry on their business. I have explained to you in detail the divine endowments earlier while describing the means of knowledge. Now I shall speak to you about the persons who belong to the demonical order. Please give your careful attention. So, think. The divine endowments, where do they take us? Where do they take us? To peaceful mind. Peaceful mind is divine mind. A happy mind is divine mind. And the undivine ones, they create agitation, they create desires, they create agitation and restlessness. And the person loses the peace of mind. Another way of putting it, divine takes you towards the divine, naturally towards the self, and the undivine takes you towards the world. One makes you introvert, the other makes you extrovert. See? And when you become extrovert, naturally, you will want this, you will want that, the desires never end. And when you go introvert, your desires start diminishing. So, diametrically opposite to each other. So, please give your careful attention. So, be alert now, because this is important topic. Bhagwan himself is saying, pay attention. Otherwise, he never says that. So, Tari, from the 276th verse, OV. तरी वाद्ये वीणनादु नेदी कवर्णाहि साधु का अपुष्पी मकरंदु न लभे जैसा तैसी प्रकृति है आसुर ऐकली नो है गोचर जव एकाधे शरीर माल्हातीना मग आविष्कार लालांकुड़े पावकु जैसा जोड़े तैसी प्राणी देही सापडे आटोपली हे ते वेळी जे वाढी ऊसा तेची आतुला रसा देहाकारू होय तैसा प्राणियांचा आता तयाची प्राणिया रूप करू धनंजया घडले जे आसुरिया दोष वृंदी. He says that just as there is no musical sound without a musical instrument or honey without flowers, so this demonical endowment does not become perceptible except when it takes a recourse to a human body. So first thing, in order to have undivine attributes, what do you need? A human body. Without a human body, these negative attributes, they will not come. So also positive also. Also the divine. So first requirement is that you have to have a human body. Only through the human body are these negative attributes perceived. Just as the fire latent in the fire sticks remain pervading it, so the demonical endowments resort to a human body and take charge of it. I'll explain. It goes on expanding with the growth of the body in the same way as the juice in the sugar cane increases with the growth of the cane. O Arjuna, now I shall mention to you the characteristics of those who possess the demonical endowments. See? The positive and the negative traits are both possible only in the human body. What about gods and what about asuras? Have you met any? Have you come across any gods? See? And if you have come across any gods or asuras, it is only because you have a mind, fertile imagination. Gods appear because of your pure mind, and asuras, ghosts, yakshas, etc. appear because of impure mind, because of fear. See? So who experiences the dreams? Who experiences the ghosts? Who experiences the yakshas? Who experiences the miracles? Who experiences the illusion? Who experiences the hypnosis? Who experiences the maya? Who?
Mind.
Correct. The mind. And can mind exist independent by itself? Or it comes about only when there is a body? Only when the pure consciousness and the body, they come together, a third thing comes out, which is called the mind. When electricity, the infinite one, and the bulb, the finite, electricity, take it as the pure consciousness, and the bulb, you take it as your body. When these two come together, electricity and the bulb, a third thing is created, which is called light. But if you go to look for light, there is nothing called light. There is only bulb or there is electricity. There is nothing called light. Exactly the same way. There is body and there is pure consciousness. When these two come together, something else gets created, which is called mind. And it is this mind in which the entire creation is being imagined. We saw, if you want to, you can go back to the Amrit Anubhav the last class on Sunday. The Bhutakash, Chittakash and Chidakash. See? So all experiences, good and bad, are only experienced, are only for the mind. And why they are, if everything is in the mind, then how come mind is experiencing them? Depending upon as you are growing. See, a child's mind is empty. There is no data there. That is why realized masters are called childlike. No ego. But as the child reaches 3, 4, 5, every passing year, the ego becomes stronger and stronger. The personality becomes stronger and stronger. And what is that personality based on? That personality, that ego, that individuality is becoming stronger because now it has some data to hang on to. And that data is the memory, which we have drummed into that child. By way of education, by way of culture, etiquettes, blah, blah, blah. Everything goes on. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. See? So it is for this mind. And all the positive as well as negative, they are latent within the mind. Latent means the potential is there but it has not expressed. The fire in the wood is latent. The potential of the fire is there in the wood, but it needs a spark. Once the spark is given, the wood will be on fire. So what is the spark for the mind? Tell someone. What is the spark that is required for the mind so that the latent, the hidden tendencies, they come to the fore? The spark, huh?
Consciousness.
No. Attention. Attention is the spark. If I don't call you by so many people are there on the screen, but to get your attention, I have to take your name, isn't it? The moment I give you attention, you will be more alert, isn't it? Same way, in our mind also, where is our attention? Is our attention, are we a witness to the mind? Or are we giving attention to the negative or the positive? Best is to be the witness, to be Sakshi. But if we give attention to the positive, then those hidden positive qualities, divine attributes, they will come to the front, they will become available. And if you give attention to the negatives, they will become available. And we told you in the beginning only, the undivine are more in number than the divine. You want to see a movie made out on this divine and undivine? Go and see Matrix, the 3 parts. Have you seen Matrix, some of you? It's how that individual comes to realize he is the divine. That's his journey. Lot of fighting. But the thought is based on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1 to chapter 18. And in the end he realizes that he is of the nature of light. Keeps building his divine qualities. But as he develops the divine qualities, the negative qualities, the undivine, are also becoming powerful, because mind is a play of balance. And then he stops fighting. And that's when he realizes that enough of this fighting. Why am I fighting? Because if I fight with this Mr. Smith in that movie, if I fight with this Mr. Smith, I am validating his presence. And my attention going to Mr. Smith as Mr. Smith is giving the validation, and he gets power from my attention. And he closes his eyes, surrenders to Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is ready. He puts his hand into his heart and is turning him to a black, because Mr. Smith is black. He's the negative, demonic, dark. Neo is also becoming dark, but he comes back to his true self. And just when he is about to be completely taken over by the negative, he is not finding. And that moment he surrenders. And in that surrender, that little bit spark which was getting covered by the dark, it bursts out like a volcano instantaneously. Just like when the sun comes up in the morning, instantaneously every speck of darkness is turned into light. Exactly the same way, every Mr. Smith is converted into Neo, into the Divine One. Same way, our mind also. When we go beyond these two, we become aware. We become available to the essential, the spirit, to the essence, which is of the nature of light. Now there is no more fear. Then he says, where are we? Please give your careful attention. Just as there is no musical sound without a musical instrument or honey without flowers. We did this, na? Which verse we are on? 6th. Then just as the fire latent in fire sticks remains pervading it, so the demonical endowments resort to a human body and take charge of it. It goes on expanding with the growth of the body. It goes on expanding with the growth of body. Why? Because of our unhealthy interaction with the world. We are living in this world for relationship, for accumulation. We are living in this world for celebrating our birthdays, even though we are moving towards death. For us, birth and death are reality. For us, this life as I know it right now, it is very important. It is to be cherished. It is we can't see beyond it. Even to tell a seeker that, hey, waking, dream and deep sleep, these are just 3 figments of imagination. Oh, but all that is okay. But what about my wife? What about my husband? What about my children? He is not ready to look at it. It has gone so deep into our psyche. And as we are growing, if we have not been given the knowledge, if we have not been exposed to the data as regards what is the purpose of being born a human, what is the goal of our life, how to live our life as we grow, then we will collect. We are all examples then, going the wrong way, still searching. That which is always, we are searching that. That which is our nature, we are searching that. Foolishly. And searching that in the books. It is not in the books, it is our nature. It is not in Bhagavad Gita, it is our nature. We give more importance to the Bhagavad Gita, we give more importance to the Mahatmas, we give more importance to the Vedas. But we are not ready to become subjective. Gita is saying, Vedas, you are the subject. Vedas say, Tattvamasi. Mahatmas say that I am God, you are God, I know it, you don't. So know that you are God. But tell me, what should I do to know God? He is saying, you are God. Gita is saying, you are of the nature of divine. And why this is happening? Because we are so besotted, so infatuated with the undivine life that we are living. We are slaves to the materialism. We are slaves to the attachments. We are slaves to the desires. We are slaves to the material continuity. The worldly continuity we are slaves to. There is only one continuous principle, and that is the self, the Atma. World cannot be continuous. But we have superimposed the continuity of our spirit on the waking state. And we are catching it and running with it. Please take me also. Tomorrow also I should be there and you should be there. Day after tomorrow also I should be there and you should be there. Stupidly. I don't know if Jnaneshwar Maharaj says all this, but I'm putting it on. My mind is going in contemplation. So we'll see what he says. So, very important. Live your life in such a manner that you do not allow impressions to be formed, memories to be developed. Remain empty all the time. And the only way you can remain empty is remain a witness. Be a sakshi. Don't live a life of like and dislike. Only then it is possible. If something is coming, what's next? Immediately be ready for the next one. Then next one comes, what's next? No time for no extra attention on any damn thought in your mind or any emotion. It goes on expanding with the growth of the body in the same way as the juice in the sugar cane increases with the growth of the cane. Isn't it true? Whether just at the physical body, a child is healthy, and as we keep growing, come to our age, knees are aching, hips are aching, back is aching. Oh, before I could make the bow shape of my body, now I can't even lift my buttocks from the ground. Before I could touch my forehead to my knees standing. Now it doesn't even go halfway. I got frozen shoulder, I got frozen neck, I got a migraine, something or the other. As we keep growing old, something or the other keeps catching us, latching onto us. Did you invite that? No, but it keeps coming. So before it envelops you, escape or come to abide, shouldn't say escape, come to abide in your essential nature or be the witness. And what is the witness? Yeah, whatever is happening to the body. Yeah, whatever breath is coming and going, it is happening. I'm not breathing. Breathing is coming and going. I'm not the feeler. Emotions are coming and going. I'm not thinking. Thoughts are coming and going in the mind. I've got nothing to do with them. This is how a Mahatma lives. And this is how you and me are also living at this moment. We have to just discover it. That's all. We have to just discover it. You cannot come to know anything if, for example, the body is having pain. Do you say that the tooth is having a pain, or do you say I am having a toothache? Mind is going to sleep, you say I am going to sleep. Mind wakes up, you say I am waking up. Stomach feels hungry, you say I am feeling hungry. Everywhere you attach yourself. Stop attaching. And this has become a habit to us now. Anyway, so just as the sugar cane, the nectar keeps increasing as the sugar cane increases in size, same way, O Arjuna, now I shall mention to you the characteristics of those who possess the demonical endowment. Now he will, till the end of the chapter, he will talk about us. So, don't look who I think this is the person, this quality fits properly. I think this quality fits on that other person properly, or this quality fits on my wife properly, or on my husband properly, or my son properly. No. This is being told to find out if it has even little bit it has expressed in our mind, to be alert towards that. And remember one thing, negativities, negative thoughts, or thoughts in general, they cannot be removed from your mind. What you can do is, you keep giving attention to the positive ones, the negative ones will become weak. But you cannot get rid of what has been already there. It will be there. You cannot change it. But what you can do is, you can make the track of your mind, a new track in your mind, so that mind by default keeps going in the direction of the mantra, or in the direction of the Daivik Sampati, or in the direction of the self. Before it was going in the direction of Asurik Sampati, now it is going in the direction of, because consciously, by giving attention, by remaining alert and vigilant, we have created a new track by continuous practice. That's why we come to satsang, to create these new tracks. Left alone, the mind will go back to, what was back to what? See, every child is born crying only, no? So we keep crying throughout our life. If we are grown up 50, 60, 70 years, still we are crying how the world has given us the wrong cards, how people have cheated us, how the government has cheated us, how health has cheated us, how everything is wrong, but you are right. And pitying yourself. This is where the mind will go. This is what Arjuna was doing in the first chapter. Apne muh miya mithu. That I know everything. I go to satsangs. I have a friend called Krishna. My elder brother is the Dharmaraj Yudhishthir. I am the greatest archer in the world. All that. We also say, oh, I am loved by my family, I am loved by my friends, I have done so much for the society, I go to satsangs, I go to regularly do puja and japa and meditation. I, and we build up the data. And in our own mind, we are sitting on a great pedestal from where we look down upon everyone. If you look down upon anyone, Asurik Sampatti. It's a big ego trip. So in the 7th verse he says, now he begins. What is that? Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha na shaucham chapi cha na shaucham napi chacharo na shaucham napi chacharo na satyam teshu vidyate na satyam teshu vidyate pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha na shaucham napi chacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. In the 7th verse he says, the demonical do not know when to act and when to refrain from action. First point. They have no truthfulness, no purity, nor right conduct. Have you noticed? When you are in a gathering, if two people are talking to each other, and if by mistake they mention your name, Wherever you are in that gathering, your ears pick it up because it's your name. And immediately, what did you say? What did you say? I heard, no, what did I do? Why did you take my name? Or two people are talking about, when two ladies meet, what do they talk about? They talk about how do you make your dal? How do I make my dal? How do you make this sabji? How do I make my sabji? Oh, I make it like this. Then the third one will come. No. I learned. Did anyone ask you? They were having a head-to-head talk, two people, and you butt in. Because you are afraid of the silence in your mind. That's why. Asuras, they want action all the time. They cannot sit silent. See? So the demonical do not know when to act and when to refrain from action. Where should we speak? Where should we not speak? Where do we act? Where do we not act? Just because we have attended satsangs, if someone passes away, "Arey, soul is immortal, don't worry." Arey yaar, wahan pe jao, shed a few tears, give solace to that person who has lost a dear one. That will be appropriate. That will be appropriate. Not go and teach him Vedanta when he is most vulnerable. See? They have no truthfulness, always lying, always manipulating, and no purity nor right conduct. No purity, hygiene, purity again, purity at inside and outside. Outside purity is at the material level, and inner purity is at the mind level. The purity of thoughts, the quality of thought determine that. Nor right conduct. Naturally, if thoughts are not pure, conduct will also not be pure. Because thought is that which makes you act in a particular way. So what does he say? Jnaneshwar Maharaj, he says, "Tari punya lagi pravritti, ka papa vishayi nivritti, ya janane achi rati, tayache mana, negane ya ani pravesha, chittane dhitu avesha, kosh kitu jaisa, जाचिन्न लापई कादिधले मागुती येईल किम न ये हे पुढील न पाहता ते भांडवल मूर्ख चोरा तैसिया प्रवृत्ती निवृत्ती दोनी नेणी जती आसुरी जनी आणि शौच ते स्वप्नी देखती नाते काळीमा सांडील कवळसा वरी चोखी होईल वायसा राक्षस ही मासा विटोषके." He says, such a person's, the one who is having demonical attribute, his mind is ignorant about what meritorious acts he should perform and what sinful acts he should avoid. See, when we say that the samskaras, when a girl is pregnant, so they do the dohal jevan, before the birth of the baby, they do some puja of the pregnant mother. After that, when the child is born, there are some ceremonies. Then there are 16 samskaras that have to be done. The namkaran, giving the name, mundan, cutting your hair, then when the child is 7-8 years old, the janev, the thread ceremony, and so on and so forth. There are 16 of them. It goes on till marriage and everything. But we say, no, 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 all this is superstition. All this is superstition. What's the point of cutting the hair? I look stupid, I look funny, people will make fun of me in the school. I also said that. But I got it done. Because curiosity kills the cat. I got killed. Early in the morning, 3:30 in Tirupati, cut, 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 cut. In my knee, sleep only they cut everything. See? One person was here many years ago, 20 years ago. Their mother passed away. So, Swamiji, can you do this puja? Can you do that puja? I did all the puja. I said, what about Shraddh for your mother? No, 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 no. I don't believe in Shraddh. It's waste of energy and waste of money and waste of time. I said, I'm not going. I didn't know I can get a priest. You don't have to. How much? Multimillionaires. No, then what are you going to do? No, I'm going to give, instead of doing the Shraddh, I'm going to spend the money feeding the beggars, feeding the homeless. What Ashirwad are you going to get from that? You are born in a particular culture, your parents were following that. Your father, did your father follow? Yes. Did your mother follow? Yes. And how come you Asuri child is born to good parents? No guarantee, you know. No guarantee. No. These Brahmins are all, it's all Brahmins. They say we should feed 10 Brahmins after the Shraddha and all that. I'm not going to do all that. Unnecessarily, I have to go for shopping and I have to then I have to give them dakshina and I have to feed them. Instead, I will feed feed the homeless people. What can you tell them? People say, oh, I'm not going to get my children, they don't believe it now. You don't believe it. Child doesn't know what is right or wrong. And then they ask, oh, beta, do you want to get done Upanayanam? That child doesn't know anything. He's stupid. 6-7 years old. No, daddy, I don't know. His mood. Are we going to ask everything to that small child whose brain is not even developed yet, to what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do? Or are we going to dictate because we have a certain culture to follow? So we are going to tell, hey, it's now 7 years, now this is the right time. But then the wife comes and says, why we have to spend so much money, then so many people have to come, this, that. Well, let's just have a party and say that it is for this purpose. Or anyway, how does it matter? If you have not done the Janeu at the time of marriage, first they do the Janeu ceremony and then they get you married. देखो बेवकूफ़ी की भी हद है. His mind is ignorant about what is meritorious acts and the acts he should perform and what sinful acts he should avoid, just as a silkworm shuts itself in a cocoon without knowing whether there is an exit to get out of it, or a fool advances his money to a thief without considering whether he will return it. So the persons who are endowed with demonical endowments do not know what they should do or avoid, nor do they dream what purity is like. They live in their own make-believe world with the blinkers on. इसको बोलते हैं संस्कृत में कूपमंडूक वृत्ति. A frog living in a well thinks he is in heaven, till a kingfisher flying over the well drops a fish which it had caught in the ocean, and the water falls in the. Hey, who are you? I'm fish. Where do you come from? From ocean. Is ocean also water? Yes. Of course. What do you mean? How much water? This much, that much? He says, the fish says, you can't even imagine how much. Because that's all his world is. Our world is also what? Me, my parents, my children, my wife, my extended family, my friends, and that's it. There's a whole universe waiting to be explored. And that whole universe is within you, within your mind. And we are happy with this illusion of waking and taking it real. This is the biggest disservice we are doing to ourselves. This is Koop Manduk. This waking is real, other two are imaginations. This body is real, I am expressing only through this body, another imagination. Then anything that is connected to this body, that is my comfort zone. That is my people. If anything happens to them, I am available for them. If anything happens to outside this circle, then who cares? I can't be taking care of the whole world. These are our words. I can only do so much. And which so much? Only to those whom you know. The coal may at times abandon its dark color, or the crow may become fair in complexion, or a demon may feel sick of meat, but these demonical persons will have no purity like a decanter filled with wine. He's talking about us. That there is a possibility that coal can become white, or the second example, the crow may become fair, or the demon may feel sick. Demons, the asuras, they eat meat. They stock all the meat in the supermarkets. Asuri. Aborigines are more intelligent. When they are hungry, they only take from nature what is required to subsist them. They don't hoard. But here, months, it is lying there. So that Asur, he may become vegetarian. He may become vegetarian. But the person with Asuric Sampatti, a human being with Asuric Sampatti, will have no purity like a decanter filled with wine. Meaning, when you drink, you are becoming spiritual on wine. So he gets high on the impurities that he is filled up with, the impure thoughts that he is filled up with, the unrighteous desires that he is cultivating within himself. He gets intoxicated by them, like Duryodhana. See, they do not like the dictates of scriptures and do not go the way of their elders. They do not like the dictates of. Oh, I have to read further now. 286. Pari asu. What's the time? Pari asura praniya shauchana hi dhananjaya pavitratva zevi bhandiya madhyachiya vadhaviti vidhichi asa kapahati vadilanchi vasa आचाराची भाष नेणतीची ते जैसे चरणे शेळियेचे का धावणे वार्याचे जाळणे आगीचे भलते उते. तैसे पुढासूनी स्वैर आचरती ते गा आसुर सत्येसी कीरवैर सदाची तया जरी नांगिया आपुलिया विंचू करी गुदगुलिया तरी साचा बोली बोलिया बोलती ते. They do not like the dictates of scriptures and do not go the way of their elders, nor do they know what is good conduct. See, when we are studying, one person came to the ashram when we are all brahmacharis sitting, Swamiji is teaching us, and Upanishads are going on at that time, and that too Mandukya Upanishad was going on with the Karika. And this trustee came, and in the middle of the class such a deep topic is going on. Suddenly, because he is a trustee, all these qualities expressed there that time. Swamiji, Swamiji, Swamiji is in his flow. Suddenly someone is stopping. Wo kya ho gaya? Now trustee, you can't. Swamiji stopped. He said, don't these students get tired 2 years listening to Brahman, 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 Brahman? Nobody has come to know it yet. It's only a conviction. Swamiji told me, stop recording. Told another person, stop recording the video. Kept listening. And because Swamiji did not say anything, this trustee thought he's got the upper hand. You know what I was saying was, Swamiji said, shut up. You may be a trustee. This is a satsang going on. This is class going on, course going on. Firstly, I allowed you, that itself I made a mistake. Get out right now. He threw him out of the class. There and then. See? Where we have to say, what we have to say, in what manner we have to say, it is an art. And you don't have to cultivate that. As long as you are God oriented, divine oriented, spirit oriented, automatically you will become alert to these things. You will become alert to the Daivi Sampatti. But when we are, what is in it for me? What can the world do for me? You don't ask what I can do for the world. Or what have I done for the world that I deserve, that something the world should do for me. No, what is in it for me? Me, me, me. Automatically, when the life is about this I, for this I, individuality is given so much importance, then parampara, ancestry, etiquettes, morals, everything goes down the drain. Why? It's all about me. I'll do it my way. I'll do what I want. I'll do what I like. I'll do it how I like. Nobody should tell me. See? This is Asuric. They do not like the dictates of the scriptures and do not go the way of their elders, nor they know what is good conduct. As the sheep grazes wherever it likes, or the wind blows at its sweet will, or the fire burns everything unchecked, so these demonical persons behave without restraint and develop deadly enmity towards truth. Such people are averse to God. They are averse to places of worship. They are averse to scriptures. They are averse to good people. What is the food for Rakshasas? Asuras? Brahmanas. Those who are God people, they eat them up. See? And if a scorpion could tickle with its sting or if the wind released by the anus be sweet smelling, then one can find truth in them. We'll quickly read this and conclude. I'll explain this next week. So then the thought is complete. आपानाचे नितोंडे जरी सुगंधा येणे घडे तरी सत्यतया जोडे आसुरांते ऐसे ते न करिता काही आंगेची वोखटे पाही आता बोलती ते नवाई सांगी जाईल एरवी करे याच्या ठाई चांग ते तयासी कैचे नीट अंग तैसा आसुरांचा प्रसंग प्रसंगे परीस उधवणीचे जेवी तोंड उभळी धुवांचे उभड हे जाणीजे तेवी उघड सांगो ते बोल. He says that if a scorpion could tickle with its sting, or if the wind released by the anus be sweet smelling, then one can find truth in them. Even if they do nothing, they are wicked by nature. I shall now tell the peculiar way in which they talk. Can you find any limbs in a camel which are straight and decent looking? The ways of these demonical persons are like that. I shall tell you something about it as the occasion demands. Words come out of their mouths like columns of smoke from the mouth of a chimney. We'll talk about it more in our next class. So with that, the 7th verse is concluded. So think. So what Bhagwan is taking, Lord Krishna is taking us is good, but you keep your attention. We have to go beyond the Daivi Sampatti and Asuric Sampatti. We have to be the Sakshi. We have to be the witness. We have to transcend these two. But yes, as compared to the Asuri Sampatti, we must cultivate Daivi Sampatti. So why are we not able to remain, if we understand everything about the truth, why are we not able to remain steady in the truth as I am? Because that is my nature. Because our mind is still getting hijacked by the Asuri Sampatti, the undivine endowments or attributes. Then how do I cultivate divine attributes? Either you can consciously take each attribute or take one attribute and develop it, commit to it, take a vow, or you continue to remain without deviation, focused on the spirit, focused on the essential self. Take some time, but eventually the Daivi Sampatti will increase and it will defeat, or it will be more prominent than the Asuri Sampatti. But more about that next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for 30 seconds, for 1 minute, then we'll conclude.